Welcome back to Vader TV. This is John Chenal, and I'm speaking today with David Mandell, founder and co-founder, and VP of Marketing for Me.dium. You guys are like a social browsing tool that people browse together.
That's correct.
Welcome.
Thank you very much. Pleasure to be here.
Now, you guys raised a lot of money. You raised $20 million up front, had a lot of product development work to do. Talk a little bit about the challenge first of really creating this real-time map of where people are and what sites they're going to on the internet.
Sure. So social browsing is a fairly new concept, and unfortunately, it's not something people are used to. We're very used to the concept in the real world. For example, when you're interacting in the real world, all the people and activity around you constantly affect your behaviors and decisions. You're just used to it. You're walking down the street, you're looking for a restaurant, there's three in front of you, one is full and loud, one is empty, and a third has two of your friends in it. Right. Whatever you do next is based on seeing all those people and their activity. Online, you're completely alone. But that's the context people are used to. It's you and a web page. Right? You can get the same information that you get in the real world. You go to restaurants, you can understand what the menu is, you can understand what the prices are. But you have no way of getting all the social and contextual value that you would get in the real world in your online experience. Now, you know there's probably a bunch of people out there trying to do similar things, maybe even some of your friends, but you have no way to access that world, and that's what Me.dium does. So as a social browser, Me.dium actually gives you access to that real-time world of people and activity in real time as you're browsing. Right.
Now, some people might argue you could do that via Twitter, although that's just a sort of text thing. You're talking about actually that's more telling people what you're doing. This is being able to find out what you're doing.
Yes. So there's a lot of great applications out there that we believe have evolved the concept of being social online. So things like Twitter, social networks like Facebook, et cetera. Right. And people are used to connecting with their friends right now. But what's missing is the real-time socialization. Right. So it's still a very asynchronous, flat experience. You know, I know where all my friends are. I can Twitter to them, or I can send messages on Facebook, and I get information about them. But I'm not truly socializing with them. And what Me.dium really does is give you a real-time social exploration environment. So in essence, you can now, for the first time, actually see in real time who else is out there around you. You can bump into your friends. You can browse together, just like you'd go to the mall together and go shopping. You can talk to each other as if you were right next to each other. You know what each other are talking about. You can gain information by seeing the activity around you. For example, if I'm on one web page and Me.dium is recommending several others based on the activity of the Me.dium users, and I see a crowd of 6 people on a different one, I'm going to go check it out. Right? I never would have found that information unless I had access to the real-time people around me.
Now, how do you find who are the other people that you can see what they're doing? You have to identify them with a friend list or a buddy list or something like that,
so
right? Or is it
both ways. Just like the real world, there are the people you know or people you don't know. Right, and Me.dium gives you a way to recognize if it's someone you know, i.e. someone on your friends list, they're represented as a yellow icon. So you can bump into your friends. You can say, oh, look, a friend of mine's over there, I'm going to pop over and see what's going on. Right. If they're people you don't know, they're represented as blue icons. So those are just other Me.dium users out there doing things that they normally would, interacting in the social exploration environment, but they're not sharing personal data with you. Right.
Now, you guys have built essentially a toolbar, or a social browser, that plugs in and works with browsers. What's the monetization model? How are you guys going to make money?
Sure. So the monetization model, if you understand the concept of creating the socialization online and really, in essence, building a real-time map of the internet. So really what we're doing is we are creating a real-time map of the internet based on the activity of actual users. So the data set becomes extremely compelling on several different levels. Just the data set itself is interesting. If you think of the revenue models of people like Comscore or any of the data companies, it's huge from that perspective. But it really starts to get interesting when you can start to look at the actual activity of people. So not just a cookie-based system, not just I show up on this website and then I show up on this website, but this is my actual path of activity online, and start to understand tasks, so patterns and tasks, what people are actually trying to do. Right.
And so for the data, we'll have a separate discussion on that, but there's it seems like there'd be some privacy concerns that you guys are dealing with those. Are you guys at revenue yet? What's the plan?
No, we are very much pre-revenue at this point. We've spent most of our time up to now building a very robust back end. In essence, as I mentioned, what we're doing is we are monitoring the real-time activity of everybody online. Right. So something that's never been done before. There's nothing out there, no packages out there. There's no other companies out there that do it. We literally had to invent it and create it. It's very intensive from both a software and hardware perspective as well as manpower. We're really just now starting to focus on the user experience and the front end of the product. So we are still very much pre-revenue. Usage is actually quite good.
Right. Can you talk about user numbers? Or?
So we don't talk about actual numbers, but I will tell you that we're quite happy with the way the adoption and usage is going right now. We've had some very powerful distribution partners. We've done a lot with Microsoft. Browsers like Firefox and Flock have been very friendly to us, Songbird. So we do have quite a few people out there. Right now, when we first launched Medium, given it's a real-time environment, you'd be using Medium online, and it was a pretty lonely place. Right? You'd have to move around a lot to try and find people. Right. Now you get on there, and there's people out there all the time.
Okay, so you're getting some good growth.
Yes, very good growth. Very happy.
David, appreciate you coming in. We're going to talk a little bit about the privacy issue also. So, David Mandell from Me.dium.
Thank you
for Vader TV, this is John Chenal.